So those of you who've been in the hobby for a while probably know that just about everything locomotive and car-wise is like limited run. And so probably more than a year ago, Athearn had announced that they were going to make a new SD60M. And I ordered one and it just came in. So let's take a look at this thing. So here we have it. Let's unbox this thing and take a look at it. Put that over there. Hopefully it stays. And then, let's see. All right. Take the cap off of that. The little manual and some stuff in here, of course. We'll take a look more at that in a few minutes. And then typical Genesis packaging. It's been kind of dry out here today, so of course I've got a little more static electricity than usual going on. So here we are in the plastic packaging that you see. All right. I find it funny that I also saw the same kind of packaging with another brand of locomotive recently. I'm guessing they just basically said, why don't we just use that too, since it protects it well? Because it does do that. So a long time ago, they used to use Genesis. Athearn used to have this these kind of things that were screwed into the trucks, and it was on a wood block and all that. That was a real pain. Glad they quit doing that. Anyway. All right. So, I'll take this out and set it on the table here. And I'll set the plastic stuff aside. Get that out of our way. Okay. Let's see, and I'll pop the foam that helps keep the handrails intact. We'll spin there. Take that one out. I got the Triclops version. I honestly can't remember if they were going to make a dual windshield one or not, but that's why they call it the Triclops, because there's 3 windows in the windshield. So it's looking pretty good. Everything seems to be intact. Does that make like an earthquake with it? So, all right. Let's look at the back of it too. We'll just take a look at the bottom. I usually don't look at the bottom of my locomotives, but yeah, everything looks like it's all there. All right. So we're going to pause for a minute. Going to go put it on the track and turn on the layout. Okay, let's turn on the power and see how things go. Throttle here. Got to start the throttle. Program number 3 here. Right. Hear that sound? Looks like I'll be in reverse at the moment. Switch it to front. Okay. And blow the horn. Sounds pretty good. See how the bell is? Sometimes I'll change the bell, but not very often. Let's see. Like the way that fades out. What does number 3 do? Oh, it's a short horn. So we got long on number 2 and short on number 3. If you can remember that, it makes for cool grade crossing effects. Trust me. All right, let's reverse. Now, right now I still have the Athearn McHenry couplers on here. Never been crazy about those, to put it mildly, I guess. So I'll be changing those. And so we've got a train back here. I'm going to back up to it and just kind of push it. I'm not going to try to actually hook up to it. If it does, that's fine. Not worried about it. But I just want to back up a little ways. Thing sounds good. Okay. Back up a little bit more. Hear that thing spin out. Okay. So we're going to stop. Put it and forward, and let's see. It does look like the model has ditch lights on it, but I can't remember if they're functional or not. Does number 4 do? Yeah, it spins up that fan. That's what number 5 does. So 6. And so far, I can't detect any difference with those. 7 dims the front lights. Interesting. Okay. 9, of course, is mute, or 8, I should say, as usual. Well, let's see what 9 looks like. Oh, it's kind of mutes it a little bit, turns that sound down a little bit. Interesting. Headlights on, headlights off. Okay, time to read the manual a little bit. I'll be right back. Okay, mystery solved. So on this model, apparently the standard functionality is for the ditch lights to flash when you have function number 5 enabled and you push the home button. Now, I have seen a video where this was the actual functionality that the Burlington Northern used. I kind of wonder if there isn't a way to change it in the CVs, because I do freelance railroading, and that means I do what I want. So next I will take it off the track, probably use my NMRI gauge to check the wheels to make sure they're engaged, which they probably are. It's a brand new locomotive. I'll clean the wheels, and I'll probably switch these couplers over to some KDs. So other than that, it looks like 9234 is about ready. Oh, and of course, I got to change the number from 3 to 9234. Okay, so let's get Decoder Pro up and running here. Pick a new locomotive. And read the type from the decoder. All right, so as I figured, it was going to pick a lot of different ones. Let's see, we should have SD60M with ditch lights. There we go. All right. So I'm going to put roster information in there because I'm going to save this. This is a new JMRI setup for me, so I've used it a lot in the past, but let's see. And when you go to make a change, you'll notice that these two things turn yellow right there. It's because that hasn't been written yet. Okay, so there's the locomotive up on the programming track. We should be able to click the magic right button here. And you saw that turn red for a second. Now, in my experience, that's a little deceptive. It usually takes a few seconds for it to actually write to the decoder. And so I've got a PR3, or excuse me, PR4 over there that's kind of thinking. I like to let those sit for a few seconds before I stop. And so now we're going to pause it, take it back over to the layout, and see if that worked. Okay, so I've got the new couplers on there, which are Katie like 158s, and then which are the whisker couplers with the medium center set shank. It didn't look like it needed any adjustment. I checked it with the NMRA gauge, and it seems to be at the proper height, and the wheels seem to be in the gauge. So let's connect up a train and see if we can get up the helix here. Okay. All right. So I have my test train connected, which looks rather short, but is actually rather heavy. I've weighted the cars pretty well. So let's see how we do. Ooh, no wheel spin. Let's watch those dish lights flash a little bit more to shoulder. I'm going to zoom out. Grade of the helix is about 2%. It looks like it's pulling just fine. That concludes the video. Hope you guys enjoyed it.